This session is for OCR FP1. The topic is matrices and transformations, and we're going to look at January 2011 question 7. So let's just start by reading through the question. So you've got to write down a matrix A that represents a shear with the x-axis invariant in which the image of the point 1, 1 is 4, 1. In part 2, the matrix B is given by root 3 naught, naught root 3, and you've got to describe fully the geometrical transformation represented by B. And then in part 3, the matrix C is given by 2, 6, naught, 2. You've got to draw a diagram showing the unit square and its image under the transformation C. And you've got to write down the determinant of C and explain briefly how this value relates to the transformation represented by C. So let's look at the first two parts. In part 1, we're talking about a shear. So it's a shear with the x-axis invariant, and the one thing that you need to know for that is the image of 1, naught is going to be 1, naught, and then the second column, then 0, 1 will map onto K1, and that is a shear with the x-axis invariant, and scale factor K. Now in our case, what we're told is that the point 1, 1 maps on to the point 4, 1. Which means that it has been shifted, it's been moved 3 units along, which means that here the scale factor was K. In this particular case the scale factor is 3, and our matrix A will be therefore 1, naught, 3, 1. So that's the matrix that we're looking for. And in part 2, we're given this matrix B, which is root 3, naught, naught, root 3, and hopefully you will be comparing it with a matrix for an enlargement. So if we had a K, naught, naught, K, then that would be an enlargement scale factor K. So this matrix represents an enlargement, centre the origin, and scale factor root 3. The other way you might do that question is just to talk about it being a stretch in the x direction of scale factor 3 and a stretch in the y direction, scale factor 3. That would be fine. So when it comes to this, in terms of marks, you're getting just 1 mark here for each column. So that gives you the 2 marks for the first part, and for the second one you're getting a mark here for enlargement. Here it's a B1 mark, and also for the scale factor. So they're all sort of just statement marks. If we look at part 3, a little bit more work to do in part 3. It says to draw a diagram showing the unit square and its image. So I've got the unit square here. So the unit square, remember, is just given by 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. And we'll want to find the image under this matrix 2, 0, 6, 2. So we will multiply those together and find the image. So the origin always remains fixed, and the next column is going to be 2, 0, and then 2 plus 6, so 8 and 2, and then the image of 0, 1 will be 6, 2. So you may have been able to write these two down simply by using the first 2 columns of the matrix. So remember, 2, 0 tells us that that's the image of 1, 0, and 6, 2, the second column, tells us that that's the image of 0, 1. So we have those points, and what we need to do now is to mark them on a diagram. So let's just have a look at that. So what I've done here is I've marked, there's our unit square, and then I've marked the point 2, 0, that's 8, 2, and that's 6, 2. And so you need to show those clearly on your diagram. So that was part A, and then in part B it says write down the determinant of C. So the determinant of C, remember, is the product of the elements in the main diagonal, so that's 2 by 2 minus the product of the other two. So the determinant is 4. And that tells us that the area scale factor is 4. And that is the significance of the determinant of a transformation matrix. It gives you the area scale factor. And notice you can see that our parallelogram has a base of 2 and it has a height of 2. So its area is 4, whereas the area of the unit square was just 1. So in terms of marks for that question, if we just have a quick look at the marks that you get for the question, then here you're getting 3 marks in part A. You're getting 1 mark, I'll just put those in. You're getting 1 mark for 2, 0, so we're getting a mark here showing that. We're getting a mark here for showing the 8, 2. And then we're getting another mark, B1, for the diagram, accurate diagram. So 3 marks for that question. And then the last 2 marks, you're getting 1 mark for writing down the determinant correctly and 1 mark for noting that it is the area scale factor. And therefore the area of our parallelogram is 4. So don't forget that there are further revision videos that you can get by going to the Further Maths Support Programme website and following the link.